Welcome to the Grim Tapes. Tonight, we take you on a journey into one of Canada's most chilling ghost stories, a story whispered about in local folklore, feared by visitors, and soaked in tragic mystery. This is the tale of the Screaming Tunnel near Niagara Falls, a place where the cries of a tormented soul still echo through the cold stone passageway. What secrets lie beneath its darkness? What horror gave birth to the scream that haunts the night? This is not just a ghost story. This is a descent into real legend, real places, and real questions. And as we peel back the layers of this mystery, you might find yourself wondering, what is it about certain places that hold on to such pain? Why does this one cry out? Get comfortable. Turn down the lights. And prepare to explore the chilling mystery of the Screaming Tunnel ghost. The tunnel itself. Our journey begins just off Warner Road in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. At first glance, it seems like nothing more than a small, abandoned tunnel beneath old railway tracks. But as the locals know well, this tunnel holds a tragic secret. The tunnel is made of limestone, cold to the touch, and approximately 16 feet high and 125 feet long. It was originally built to allow water drainage and foot traffic beneath the railway. But what sets it apart is the legend that follows it like a shadow. Anyone who visits the tunnel and dares to light a match inside it claims to hear a blood-curdling scream. That is how the Screaming Tunnel got its name. The story is not just a tale passed around campfires. It is deeply embedded in the culture and memory of the region. The legend. There are several variations of the legend, but all point to a horrific event that supposedly occurred in the early 20th century. The most common story is about a young girl who lived near the tunnel with her parents. Her home was either set ablaze or caught fire in an accident. In one version, the girl runs screaming from the burning farmhouse, her clothing engulfed in flames. Desperately trying to reach help, she collapses inside the tunnel and dies from her injuries. In another version, the fire is no accident. The girl is set on fire deliberately by her abusive father or another cruel figure. She tries to escape, running into the tunnel as her final shelter, but doesn't survive. What remains consistent across every version is this: a young girl died tragically inside the tunnel, and her scream can still be heard. The ghostly encounters. People have claimed to witness strange occurrences when visiting the tunnel. Some report a sudden drop in temperature the moment they step inside. Others speak of an overwhelming sense of dread. But it is the scream that haunts visitors most. Many paranormal investigators have visited the site. According to some reports, if you enter the tunnel at night and strike a match, you will hear a scream that sounds eerily like a young girl crying out in terror. Cameras have failed to work. Audio equipment captures static or inexplicable whispers. Some visitors claim to have seen a flicker of movement, like a shadow darting from one end of the tunnel to the other. There are also those who hear footsteps behind them, even though they are alone. Some have reported that their flashlights flicker, or that they feel unseen hands touching their shoulders. The tunnel has gained a reputation not only in local folklore but also among supernatural enthusiasts around the world. It's become a pilgrimage site for those seeking contact with the beyond. Possible explanations. Skeptics, of course, offer alternative explanations. They claim the screaming sound could be caused by wind patterns inside the tunnel, bouncing off the limestone walls to create eerie echoes. The cold? It could simply be the temperature shift caused by the shaded stone structure. And the sensation of being watched? A psychological reaction to being in a dark, isolated place with a scary reputation. But these logical explanations don't account for the many consistent eyewitness stories. Nor do they explain why electronic devices malfunction specifically in this location. Could it be that the tunnel acts like a kind of spiritual trap? That it holds a trauma so deep it echoes through time? Local reception and media. The Screaming Tunnel has appeared in books, documentaries, and even horror films. Most notably, it was featured in the 1983 movie adaptation of Stephen King's The Dead Zone, directed by David Cronenberg. The film used the tunnel's unsettling atmosphere to its advantage, cementing its status in the pop culture of horror. Locals have mixed feelings about the tunnel. Some warn others to stay away. Others have embraced its fame, turning it into a kind of supernatural landmark. Ghost tours often stop near it. And yet, there's a level of respect or even fear surrounding the place. Very few people dare to enter it alone after dark. Historical digging. Historians have tried to trace the origin of the story. There are no official police reports or newspaper clippings to confirm a girl's death inside the tunnel. But oral traditions and family stories passed down over generations hold weight in folklore studies. Some speculate the tale may be an amalgamation of several tragic incidents that occurred in the region. Fires, abusive households, and accidents were sadly common in the rural areas during the early 1900s. The tunnel could have become the symbolic site where all these tragedies found a voice. Others believe the lack of documented evidence is part of what makes the story powerful. The uncertainty leaves room for imagination, fear, and belief. Psychological impact and urban legends. The Screaming Tunnel fits into a larger category of urban legends tied to grief, fire, and isolation. Psychologically, such stories allow people to process fear, loss, and violence in symbolic terms. They offer cautionary tales, not just about specific locations, but about human cruelty and the consequences of neglect. The idea of a child screaming from beyond the grave taps into something primal. It evokes guilt, horror, and the urge to protect. Perhaps the story remains alive because it speaks to our deep-rooted fear of the unexplainable and our collective empathy for innocent suffering. Visiting the tunnel today. Today, the Screaming Tunnel is accessible to the public. You can walk to it, explore it, and if you're brave enough, light a match and test the legend for yourself. Authorities do not officially recognize it as a haunted site, but they also don't interfere with visitors unless safety is compromised. If you plan to visit, be respectful. Whether or not you believe in the ghost, the place holds emotional weight for many. Treat it as a sacred place, because for some, it is. Why does this legend persist? Why do so many people report similar experiences? Could trauma leave a permanent mark on a location? Or are we, perhaps, projecting our own fears into places like this? You have just heard the chilling legend of the Screaming Tunnel ghost near Niagara Falls. A place that continues to stir both curiosity and terror in the hearts of all who hear its story. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, the tale remains deeply unsettling. Before you leave, consider this. What would you do if you lit a match inside that tunnel and heard a scream? Would you run? Would you stay? Or would you even dare to go in at all? We want to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever visited the Screaming Tunnel? Do you believe in lingering spirits? Or do you think there's a rational explanation behind the mystery? Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed our deep dive, and subscribe to the Grim Tapes for more tales of the eerie and unexplained. Your support helps us keep digging into the darkest corners of the world. Until next time, stay curious. Stay brave. And remember, some tunnels lead not just to the other side, but somewhere much darker.